Good morning. Good morning. How are you all doing this morning? Um,
All right, good morning to you. How are you doing this morning? What are you up to? Are you at work? Are you working from home like me? Are you at the office? Are you out running errands? What are you up to today? All right, it's a beautiful Thursday. Okay, so I miss coming live on Thursday. So usually I would come live on Thursday at 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. in the afternoon. But recently we changed, we made some changes at the academy, okay, and so I don't get to come online or come up at four at on Thursday anymore. My name is Maribeth Chima. I am the founder of the Parenting Through Mentorship Academy and PTM Resources, where we create resources, to support parents, okay, or to help parents support their children. So we create resources that parents can use and apply in their parenting, and we also create resources that children can use or can work with independently. So, as a parent, these should be two goals for you. Okay, equipping yourself to guide, to direct, to lead, and to, help your children, basically support your children is the word. All right, so finding the tools or searching for the tools and obtaining the tools that you need to help your parenting, to help you on your parenting journey. It is a very, very key, is a very key, ingredients for your parenting success. Okay, the other thing you need is to ensure that you are equipping your children in a way that your children can, take the tools and practice the tools on their own and then begin to apply those tools on their own. So for every parent, your goal should be to support your children, to help them stay consistent, support your children, help your children practice, you stay consistent, create accountability systems for them, enroll them to systems that can hold them accountable, and then step back gradually and allow the children begin to navigate or begin to self-direct until you get to the point where your children, no matter how young they are, all right, until you get to the point where your children begin to self-direct, the work is not complete. Okay, and self-direction is not exactly, it's not exactly an age thing. I have seen children at 10 who are attempting to direct themselves. I've seen children at 12, yet I've seen children who are 18 and they can't still direct themselves. Okay, even though they try to form or they try to act like I am old enough, I can make my own decisions, you realize that their decisions still ride on your provision. So the moment your children's decisions are still riding on your provision or are still riding on your what's the word now? I don't want to use your acceptance. Okay, more like as far as it's still riding on your provision and still indirectly depending on you, not taking advice from you, not allowing you to influence their decision, but totally dependent on you. Because sometimes it feels like, oh, our children are doing their thing. But if you go back and you look at it deeply, you realize that it's the parents that are still doing the thing. It is the parents that are still championing. The parents are still the energy behind what their children are doing. Okay, you just don't know. You're far, so you cannot realize that this is what is going on. A lot of times, in many cases, the parents are still the ones, directing their children's life, still the ones that their children are totally dependent on. Okay, and they're two different things, really. There are two different things that your children allow you to influence them, meaning that your children are making informed decisions already. Your children know what they want already. Your children can initiate their own task. Your children can reason out things. Your children can sit down with you and have a conversation like, hey, mom, hey, dad, This is what I am planning. Okay. Let me run it by you. So your children are at that stage where they can run their thing, okay? They can run their show. But hey, because they respect, they honor, they trust, and they they trust you, they honor you, they respect you, and they trust in your abilities or your wisdom, basically. They are able to run it by you. And why running it by you? Because of the relationship that you have, because of the connection that you have, and how supportive you have been, and how they have come to trust you, they can allow you influence their decisions. These are two different things altogether. All right, very key. So the question is, how are you equipping yourself and how are you equipping your children? All right, so reading books. Reading books is one strong, as it is one huge way that you can equip your child. Reading is a fantastic way to equip your child. Now, as a parent, if you are not using this tool, as a parent, if you are not using reading as a strategy, okay, in your parenting, you're leaving so much on the table. You need to go back. You need to go back, or we need to talk, okay? If you're not using reading and you're not using the power of storytelling in your parenting, okay, then we need to talk. Okay, we need to talk. I need to open your eyes to a lot of things and how far, the fact that your child can read books, okay, and the fact that your child can enjoy a story, and the fact that you can share a story with your child, and you have that bond where you can actually go through a story or go through a material together. All right, these are all different levels, of being able to share a book and all of that. And it begins with you reading to your children, all that body reading you do, all that night bedtime stories that you read to your children, all of it, all that read aloud that you do with your little children, that you do with your young children, that you do with your preteens, and even your teenagers. I hope you know that you can still read aloud to your teenager and vice versa. Okay, now if you do not introduce reading early, then that becomes a problem. Okay, if you don't introduce or you don't body read with your children, shared reading, you don't read aloud with them when they are younger, you realize you can't share an interesting book, or you cannot, you can't sap, right? You can't sap or review the lessons and the content from a good book, right, together, because you did not cultivate this habit. All right, so you want to be that parent. I'm that parent. I want to be that parent that I can say to my son, okay, I can say to my daughter, hey, sweetie, I just read this book. You need to check it out, right? I just read this book. You need to check it out. You know something? I just ordered this book, and I think you need to look at chapter 4. You need to be in that space with your children. It's not every time that you buy yam and buy crayfish and you send them, homemade food and all of that. You need to equip them. So send them things that will, edify their minds, right? And will, help them become wiser. All right. So books are so essential. You don't want to. You don't even want to joke with it. Okay. You don't want to joke with it. Telling stories, reading stories, using stories as a part of your parenting. Very, very essential. And if you are going to use reading and telling stories as a tool, then you must have a structure or have a system in your home that feeds your home with books. Do you have that system? Do you have a structure or system in your home where your children get books probably every month, every 2 months, or something like that? This is 2023 we are about to go into. Please, parents, I beg you, no matter how little or how young your children are, and no matter how little you have, you can buy even, the fairly used books. How do they call them? You can buy the fairly used books. There are some of them around, okay? And then you can buy books. We spend money to buy all kinds of things, from hair to clothes, hair to clothes and all kinds of things. We spend money on pizza. We spend money on things that, are just temporal, things that would not, apart from the initial value that they have to fill the tummy per time or to make you look good per time. these things don't leave any strong message or any a defined thing, beyond just initial pleasure or initial satisfaction. Okay, they don't do this, yet we spend money on them. All right, we spend money on them. Sometimes, I mean, I go and give my children treats and we go to Cold Zone. By the time we're done, you're paying 7K, 8K for ice cream. All right, you're paying 7K, 8K, 10K for a box of pizza. And we do these things every now and then. Then why won't we, invest, even if it's 5,000 per child, okay, in books? Why won't we invest? Okay, let's start with 2,000 per child. Let's start with 3,000. I mean, whatever. But hey, if you spend money on other things and you are still a parent who is looking at books as something that, I beg, when we say buy books, I beg, look, 4,000, is it not too expensive and all of that? Yet we buy pizza, we buy these things, for much more than that. Okay. So parents, what am I saying? Create a system in your home where you ensure that your children are constantly reading books. Okay, it is you that will help your children appreciate books. It's you that will help your children appreciate books and see books as something to be happy about. Okay, in my home, there cannot be a gifting. There can't be any gifting, presents and all of that, birthdays, Valentine, Christmas, or any of these things. It can't happen without a book. In fact, if you gift my children things, or for any of these, celebrations and stuff, and there is no book, you will see them looking around to see, oh, I don't get books, today. I mean, as a matter of fact, even if you buy my kids, so my daughter has what's it called? What's that series? She has a whole box of it, and she got it, I think about 25. Mallory Towers. Yeah, she has a whole box of Mallory Towers. And at the time she got the Mallory Tower, even, she wasn't even 7 yet. She got the whole box. She wasn't even 7 yet at the time, but she was so excited about it, and daddy bought it. If I bought it, I probably would have bought, a lower grade of books and all that. But he had bought, Famous Five for her at the time, and then he thought she should get a higher level of book, and he got that. And she wasn't even 8 yet, but she's kept it, she's kept it so well. Every time she will carry it, she will read a bit, and she'll be like, Mommy, can you read to me? Can we read this book together? Because somehow she hasn't reached that point and all of that. But hey, they get excited. They will get excited over a gift of books as much as they will get excited over a gift of chocolates or pizza and all of that. Now, these things will not happen overnight, and it's not because there's anything special about my children or our children. No, there is not. It's just simply, what habits have we created? What have we put in their space? What have we put in their, what have we opened their eyes to? What have we put in their space? What have they seen consistently? What do they think is value? What do they think is quality? It is in you. Your children will get their perception of the world. Your children will decide, or your children will understand what is important, what is of value through you. Basically, it is the things that you give value to, the things that you spend your time and your money on. These are the things that your children will value. So if your parents that are always about, everybody looking dapper, looking woke, looking all, adorned in designer outfits and all of that, I am not even saying this is bad. Amazing if that's you. But what I'm saying is, this is before, as your children grow, this will be their forte. This will be what they are about, because hey, this is what they know. If you're a parent that is big on knowledge, and you make that known, and you make that obvious, and you put that, before your children consistently, then your children will be big on knowledge. Okay, and then sometimes you hear stories like, I beg you, pikin wey go do, pikin wey go spoil, pikin wey go do. Or some will not even like it no matter what you do. It's not true. The thing is, how consistent are you? Okay, how consistent are you, and how did you approach each child, knowing that each of your children are different. Each of them are different. Okay. So yes, you may introduce books and the girl will accept them, you know, easily, and it's not a problem. Okay, and you introduce it, and it's not the same, you know, or it doesn't happen within the same duration for your son. That is not to say that your son does not like books. It's just simple. These two children are different, and the girl came round in a shorter period. The boy could take longer, but he will come round, provided this is introduced in a fun way, this is introduced at a good time, and you are consistent. In fact, even if you don't introduce it when they are when they are young, okay, when they're young, you know, when they are early enough in their life, because hey, the truth is we can't even debate this one, we can't even fight this one. Whatever you introduce early in the life of your children will take roots better than what you introduce much later. So for a parent that introduces something at age 1, 2, or 3, okay, by the time your child is 8 and 10, the result in that thing, of course, will not be compared to that of a parent who introduced it at age 7. Except, of course, you know, some children are just exceptional in certain things. Okay, some children's passion are just, you know, out of this world, and of course that's why we know that some children are geniuses in certain areas. So yes, you could have a genius in your hand, and that genius will still do well even when you introduce certain things later. But you know, normal scenario, regular situation, the earlier you introduce, you know, to that child, the better. And even for that genius, a genius that was introduced to certain things at 2, and a genius that is introduced to read at age 10 will still not have the same outcomes. So very, very key that we understand this. But hey, at whatever point you wake up to your parenting responsibility, at whatever point you become intentional, what we're saying to you is there is hope, and there is, you know, there is hope, and there is help, and there is support, and we are here to support you, because hey, it is doable. Okay, so because we understand the importance of stories, that is why we wrote Christmas Stories for Champions, my latest book. My latest book, Christmas Stories for Champions, came out 2 weeks ago. We put it out for pre-launch, pre-order 2 weeks ago, and pre-order ended yesterday. Okay, pre-order ended for that book yesterday, because we want to get the books out as early as possible before Christmas, so that you can have it for Christmas. That book will bless your Christmas. That book will turn your Christmas around. It will create an experience for you that you will not forget. It is a book that was created to spark conversations in your home this Christmas. It's a book that was created Okay, it's a book that was created to help you have conversations. You know how we do these things. It's Christmas, it's holiday, yet everybody is up and about doing their own business. In fact, we may all be at home during the holiday, yet people are doing their different businesses, are not involved in each other's life or in each other's space during Christmas. No, that's not the essence of the holiday. It's not the essence of Christmas, as a matter of fact. Okay, this Christmas is a time for bonding. This holiday is a time for bonding with your loved ones and family, even for you who is not a Christian. Okay, it's a holiday. The holiday is for bonding. It's a long one, and it's reserved for you to relax and bond with your family. That's why you see people travel, far and wide just to be with family during Christmas. So if you're going to travel far and wide to be together, and you will end up everybody in their room sleeping and everybody going out and coming in as they want, then what is the essence? You could have just stayed back where you were. So, but what I'm saying is we can make Christmas, a bonding event. We can make it, the holiday, an opportunity. You can take the opportunity of being together during the holiday and bond and share your experiences from growing up. And that's what we have. In Christmas Stories for Champions, we have experiences of people, memories that people created during Christmas 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. These are the kind of stories that we have in that book. Yes, it's a fiction book, but it's inspired by real life stories. So I have been saying it, so I want to say it to you again today. You cannot read Christmas Stories for Champions and not find a story that resonates with you. All right, so the goal is your children will read and your children will get, whoa, this happened then. Mommy, is this how you used to do it? Daddy, is that so? And that will spark a relation, I mean, a conversation between you and your children. This book is supposed to help you level up. Okay, you can't connect with your children if you don't level up. So we created stories that your children will read, question you, stories that you can read one story per day as a family, and that sparks laughter and triggers or gingers you to now tell your own story or tell the story of grandma or grandpa or someone you know and all of that. The stories are relatable. So that's what I'm saying. The stories are relatable. And so because they are relatable, they will resonate with you in one way or the other. And it will it will just help you level up with the children and be able to tell them, even more stories of your own experience. Okay. And this is the goal. We are so big on your children learning from you. Don't have those experiences and just sweep it under the corner, under the carpet. Don't allow your children keep rolling their eyes every time you talk of your day. During our time, they roll their eyes because you have come again. Tell them stories that they can laugh and they can, that they can just, picture and say, oh, wow, you had that. I mean, this happened during your time. It was like this. Okay, tell them stories from a place of fun and not a place of judgment. That's what it is. So I was with my team this morning and we were talking, and we agreed that the team agreed that somehow we've not gotten these books in the hands of as many people as we wanted to get. Okay, and we know that the cheaper it is, the wider we can get it out there. Right now, we really would like to give this book. We really would like to sell these books. The way we sold books in the past, 2, 5, 3K, and all of that. We would, but alas, we can't because of the present situation and how much it takes to print books right now. It is over the top. It is crazy. Okay, it's crazy. I mean, I'm sure some of us have an idea. Just check the amount. I mean, what you used to buy a ream of paper now, and of course, if you have a printer in your home or in your office, just think of what it is, to refill the ink in the printer. So that will give you an idea of what it is, these days for us to print books, 1,000 copies of books and all of that. So it's crazy, and so we can't afford to give it less than we are giving it, because if we do that, then we would be running at a loss. As it is right now, there isn't the profits per se. Okay, now if we do anything less, then we'll be running at a loss. And I'm sure you don't want me to bless you and go and borrow money, right? You don't want me to bless you and start begging for money. You don't want me to give you a book and come back to you and start begging you to give me money, isn't it? So yes, that's the whole idea. So the whole idea is that this book gets into the hands of as many people as possible at a reasonable amount, that it's a win-win situation for all of us. Okay, so we have decided to leave the book at pre-order cost, all right, for the next 2 weeks. Woo! So clap for me, clap for us now. All right, so we've decided to leave the book at the same pre-order cost from now to the day we launch the book, which is going to be sometime around the 14th of December, 15th of December. So hey, you have an opportunity to still get the books for, if you're buying the Christmas Stories for Champions with our journal, which is an amazing tool for every young person. You want your child to start thinking, organizing their thoughts, organizing their thoughts, organizing their life. Basically, you want your child to start making this, taking initiative. Let your child start doing tasks on their own without you being the energy, behind everything. Then you need to get them to start setting goals. Set goals, give them the journal. The journal is such a pretty book. You'll be amazed that simply because, see, when I got this journal, right? When I got this, my planner, at the time, because of how pretty it was and how I loved it, I just went to work, because every time I just want to get it out, and do my thing with it, just simply because I love the whole gold thing and all of that about it. That is me, old woman. I'm talking about children. Your children would just want to plan. your children will just want to do their task so that they can go to their journal and go tick, tick, tick. What is the weather like today? It's sunny. Okay. And then they name their journal. They can name their journal and say, hey, Ginger, I had this today. Let's get our children to start interacting. Okay. It's going to be an it's a very interactive journal. Okay. So if you're getting both of them, you can get both of them for 7,000 naira. So which brings it to about 3,500 for each of them. Now, this does not even include, we're not even charging you for, we're not charging you for, shipping it to your city or anything like that. We're going to ship it to your city on us. That has been factored into the cost of the book. All you need to do is go to your pickup center or location and pick it from there. You see? So we factored that, and now you're in Nigeria now. By the way, I'm in Nigeria, right? So if you're in Nigeria, you know what it takes to move anything anywhere. Everything is like 3 times, the amount right now. But we're going to take all that pain and all of that. So yes, that's why, we want as many people to get this, and that's why we are leaving pre-order open still. So yes, you can still get both books for 7,000 naira, and you can get each book for 4,000 naira, please. Okay? And when you get your books, you call me and you will thank me and probably send me balance or something like that. But hey, we have the opportunity. Apart from that, we want this to get into the hands of as many people as possible. So we will have a link after this video. Would you like to join our launch team? Okay, all you're going to do is just help us share this information on your timeline. Okay, share it in your status. Okay, share the link with your friends so that they get to see and make a decision whether they want to buy this book. Okay, please. So we would want people who will volunteer to help us spread the word. Why? Because we want this in the hands of as many people as possible so that we can get the real essence of Christmas. We can get children to start reading books. We can get parents to start learning how to tell stories and use stories to send their message to their children. Every story in Christmas Stories for Champions got a lesson or got lessons, and these lessons are shared or are delivered in the most subtle way, with the story being the vehicle for passing this message across. So every parent should read this book along with their children so that they understand how to use storytelling as a vehicle. So you can start creating your own kind of story in your head when you need to pass down a message that is hard to chew to your children. Because as parents, it's important that we maintain our relationship, our connection with our children, no matter what. Yes, I said that. It is your responsibility to maintain your connection with your children, no matter what. You will need that connection for the rainy day. You will need that connection for the time where you can't beat your children anymore. You can't scream on them anymore. Your screaming does not have any effect on them anymore. Even if you try to hit them, now your hand will pain you. So there will be a time where you will come as a parent where these tools that you have depended on, okay, tools like your venom that you speak through your mouth, okay, at some point you will get to the point where you have trained your child, through the venom that you spit out, such that the child will become a pro in spitting out venom. You know how we pray and we say, Father, my children will be better than me. My children will go over. It's a very balanced prayer. Okay. So if you are that parent, you spit venom, I promise you, your children will learn to spit venom and they will outsmart you at speaking venom. So by the time you open your mouth to throw one, they have already given you 10. Now you will pay. Do you understand? Now you want to use the beating, I will slap you, I will correct his head and everything. The point will come where you cannot slap and correct head anymore. I know some of us will brag, even if it is 20, I will show up in that place and I will beat you. Now, so stories for the gods, okay? Yeah, so you will get to the point where you're whooping ass, you're beating, you're screaming, your everything will not work anymore. What are you going to rely on? Your connection has been broken a long time ago. So you realize you get to a point and you're a total stranger in the lives of your children because you can't connect with them anymore. You killed that while you were trying to be Hitler. you killed that while you were trying to make them become, how do we put it? We're trying to shape them, or we're trying to make, I don't know, whatever we call it. Okay, at that point where you're trying to make sure that you train them well. Okay, so we need to be careful how we train them well. Why use a method that will disconnect you when there is so much? There are so many tools that you can use, get better results, and still build connection with your children. All right, so that's it. So we have extended pre-order. That's one. And then two, we would like you, if you would like to volunteer, you can just put it in the comments and say, I would like to volunteer, and we will add you to the group. We promise you we won't disturb you. We will just give you the tool every day, and you will share that tool with your community, your friends, your tribe, and all of that. Your DP, your DM, your status, your timeline, and all of that. This is all we ask of you. All right, so thank you very much, everyone. If you've been here, let me see. Now, if you want to order, okay, you can see the information scrolling right here, right now. Okay, you can use the information that is scrolling on your screen right now to place your order for this book. Okay, you can pay through our Zenith Bank account. It's PTM Resources. The account number is 12260270006. You can go ahead and order your book straight away, and then send us the proof of payment to 081-306-21566. Or better still, at the end of this stream, you just look down in the comment section, and you will see the link where you can click, or a number that you can copy and make payments. If you want to pay offline through the bank, okay, the number is for you. If you want to pay online, then you can use the link to access this on our seller page. Now, if you are in the diaspora, then please be patient with us. You're not in Nigeria, then be patient with us. Okay, we will have this book on Amazon in the week that we're launching the physical copy or the hard copy of the book. You will be able to order for it on Amazon. Okay, so don't bother ordering now, so that we don't get stuck with how to get your books across to you. Thank you very much, everyone. My name is Mary Beth Chima. I am still your go-to person when you are thinking of the best way, maximum way, that's effective way, best practice, holistic approach to raising and supporting your children, especially your young children and your preteens. Thank you for allowing me come into your space. I do not take this for granted. Please let me know in the comments if you got value from this session. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye. Bye.